I found a threatening note in my wedding flowers. The photographer's quick thinking caught who put it there. I was getting dressed for my wedding when I found it TB on a handwritten note tucked between my bridal bouquet roses. He's still sleeping with me, don't be stupid, Amy. My hands trembled so badly my maid of honor had to take the flowers before I dropped them, 10 minutes before I was supposed to walk down the aisle to marry the man I'd loved for 4 years. The wedding planner wanted to call the police. My mother suggested we pretend it never happened. But Zoe, our photographer, had a different idea. I've been taking behind-the-scenes photos all morning, she whispered, scrolling through her camera. Maybe we caught who did this. I watched heart pounding as Zoe flipped through hundreds of candid shots. Parent bridesmaids laughing, my dad practicing his speech, caterers arranging centerpieces. Then she stopped on a frame that made my stomach drop. There was Stephanie, my fiancé Stan's ex-girlfriend and current work colleague, leaning over my bouquet while everyone else was at the pre-ceremony toast. The timestamp was just 30 minutes earlier. She's not even supposed to be here, I whispered. Stephanie had declined our invitation with a polite excuse about a business trip. Zoe squeezed my hand. Do you want me to show Matt? Matt, my almost husband, the man waiting for me at the altar, completely unaware that his past had just crashed into our future. No, I said finally. I need to do this myself. I handed my veil to my stunned mother and walked in, not toward the ceremony but to the groom's suite. I didn't knock. Matt looked up, breaking tradition by seeing me before the wedding. Amy, what's wrong? You look. I handed him the note without speaking, watched his expression move from confusion to shock to something else. Parent, not guilt but anger. Stephanie, he said immediately, his face hardening. She's been texting me for weeks. I blocked her number, told Hiker she was harassing me. She must have come here to prove it, I said, my voice steadier than I felt. Show me your phone right now. Without hesitation, he handed it over. There they were, parent, increasingly desperate messages from Stephanie, Matt's firm responses asking her to stop, and finally an email to their company's HR department dated 2 weeks ago. I didn't tell you because I thought she'd finally stopped, he said, eyes never leaving mine. I didn't want her drama touching our day. I made a decision then, parent, one I'd question later if it was brave or naive. I handed Matt the phone and Zoe's camera. Stephanie's here, I said, right now. What happened next wasn't in any wedding planning guide. Matt called security while I returned to my bridesmaids. We delayed the ceremony 20 minutes, just long enough for Stephanie to be quietly escorted from the property, protesting loudly that she'd been invited by the groom. When I finally walked down that aisle, my hands had stopped shaking. Matt's eyes were red, but he smiled like I was the only person in the universe during our first dance. He whispered, I am sorry she tried to ruin this. She didn't, I replied. She just gave Zoe the most dramatic wedding photos ever. Our 1-year anniversary is next week. Zoe's photo of security escorting Stephanie out, designer heels sinking into the lawn, Mysterio streaming down her face, parent, won her a photojournalism award. It sits framed in our hallway, a reminder that sometimes the most beautiful beginnings come right after someone tries to stop